Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of this gorgeous pineapple shawl. In this video we will be doing rows 10 through 16. Thank you for watching and let's get started. For row 10, chain 3 and then shell in shell. Chain 3, and then double crochet into the second chain of this first chain 3 space. Chain 3 and skip over this double crochet here and double crochet into the second chain of this chain 3 here. So the second chain. Chain 3 and then shell in shell. And that is almost an exact repeat of row 3. Now chain 5. Single crochet into this chain 3 of the pineapple. Then chain 3. Single crochet into the following space. Chain 3. And single crochet into the last chain 3 space. So there's our pineapple quickly coming to a point. Now chain 5 again, and then we're going to repeat what we did just here. So there is the chain 5, and then shell in shell. Now we're going to chain 3, double crochet into that second chain of the first chain 3. Chain 3 again. Skip that double crochet and double crochet into this second chain of the second chain 3. Then chain 3 one more time. And do a shell in shell right here. And here is my row 10 all finished. To begin row 11, chain 3 and turn your work. We're now going to place a shell into this chain space. Now row 11 is going to be very similar to row 4. So remember back in row 4 we did 11 double crochet into this space right here. So you see the pineapple. We're going to be creating 2 more pineapples on each side here. So into this space right here, so we have a chain 3, chain 3, chain 3. In the middle chain 3, we're going to be making 11 double crochet. But first, let's chain 3. Then you're going to skip over this space and double crochet 11 into this space. There's one for me. And once we get to 11, I'll meet back up with you. So this is what row 11 looks like so far. We have our shell, chain 3, then 11 double crochet. Now we're going to chain 3, and place a shell into this next space here. So this next shell. Now here we are over here again. So we need to chain 5, single crochet into this chain 3 space, chain 3, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, and then chain 5, shell in shell. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Chain 5, single crochet into this chain 3 space, the first chain 3 space, then chain 3, single crochet into the second chain 3 space, chain 5, and then shell in shell. And this is row 11 so far. I just completed that shell in shell right there. And now we're going to do what we did over here, and we're going to do it over here. So you're going to chain, after doing that shell in shell, chain 3. Skip over here and into that middle, chain 3. You're going to place 11 double crochet. And again, there's 2 for me. And when I get to 11, I'll meet back up. The last step to this row is to chain 3 and then shell in shell. Here is the completed row 11. And a recap, we shell in shell, chain 3, double crochet 11, chain 3, shell in shell, chain 5, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 5, shell in shell, chain 3, double crochet 11, chain 3, and shell in shell. To begin row 12, chain 3 and turn your work. Shell in shell, double crochet 3, chain 2, double crochet 3. Now chain 3. And we're going to place an increase into this very first double crochet. So 2 double crochet into the same space. So that first stitch, you want 2 double crochet. Then 1 double crochet into each of these following double crochet, and the very last one, do another increase. 2 double crochet into the same space. Once we get to the end, I will meet back up. And now we have 13 double crochet. So from here you're going to chain 3 and shell in shell. Then I'll meet back up with you so we can do this. So this is row 12 so far. And now we're going to do this part right here. So this part is where we're going to basically close up the space for the pineapple right here. Chain 5. And single crochet into this chain 3. Then chain 5. And we're going to jump right over here and place a shell in shell. So now that that is done, we're basically going to repeat what we did on this side over here on this side. So you're going to chain 3 right here, then place 2 double crochet into this first double crochet 9, 2 double crochet into this last double crochet, chain 3, and shell in shell. Once that is complete, I'll meet back up so you can see how my work is looking. Okay, so back again for recap of row 12. Now, of course, we started out with a chain 3, shell in shell. Chain 3, then we did our increase, so we did 13 double crochet. Of course, 2 double crochet in your first stitch, 2 double crochet in your last stitch to make 13. Now, chain 3, shell in shell, chain 5, single crochet, chain 5, shell in shell, and then we repeated again. So we did chain 3, then 13 double crochet, increase and increase, then chain 3 and shell in shell. Now we are all ready to begin row 13. To begin row 13, chain 3, turn, and shell in shell. Now chain 3. From here, we're going to begin a repeat. You're going to single crochet, chain 3, skip a stitch, and single crochet. You're going to repeat that all the way across here so we have 6 chain 3 loops. So again, we're going to single crochet, chain 3, skip a stitch, and single crochet. Repeat that until you have 6 loops across here, and then I'll meet back up with you. And there are my 6 loops all finished. Now you can chain 3 and shell in shell. Now we're going to skip all of this right here, and we're going to jump right from this shell and create a shell into this space. Shell and shell over here. So you're just going to pull your work together like this and create a shell. So these 2 shells will bump together. And that will finish off our very first pineapple. Now we are just going to repeat what we did over here, right here. So we just shelled in shell, then you're going to chain 3, and then begin the repeat of single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. Repeat that 5 more times across here. Then you're going to chain 3 and shell in shell. Once I have completed that, I will meet back up and we can do a recap. Okay, so row 13 recap. We had a chain 3, shell in shell, chain 3, single crochet, skip a stitch, chain 3, single crochet. We repeated that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a total of 6 loops. Then chain 3, shell in shell, skip all this stuff here, shell in shell, then chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, chain 3, and shell in shell. We are all ready to begin row 14. Row 14, chain 3, shell in shell, chain 5, you're going to skip over this chain space. So we're going to be doing these chains like this down here, up here for both of these pineapples. So single crochet into your first chain 3 right here on the pineapple. Then chain 3, single crochet into your next loop, and repeat that. Now we have 5 chain 3 loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we want to chain 5 again and shell in shell. Now we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to repeat all of this on this side. So we're going to next do, see, we just chained 2. Now shell in shell right here, like we did. Then chain 5, single crochet into that first chain 3 loop of the pineapple, chain 3, single crochet, repeat that 4 more times, so you have a total of 5 chain 3 loops, chain 5, and shell in shell. So that's happening right over here. Once this is done, I will show you how my work is looking. Okay, so here we are with row 14 complete. We have shell in shell, chain 5, 5 chain 3 loops, chain 5, shell in shell, chain 2, shell in shell, and again, chain 5, 5 chain 3 loops, chain 5, and shell in shell. Now as you see, this is kind of how the work is growing. We currently have 1 and 2 half pineapples, and the next step is we're going to be working obviously on these 2 pineapples right here, but also building space so that we have a pineapple growing over here, 1 in the middle, and then 1 growing over here too. So we're gonna go from 1 to 2, then we'll have up to 3. 1, 2, 3. So now we can begin row 15. Row 15 begins with a chain 3, and then you're going to do a double shell. So a double shell again is a shell, which is double crochet 3, chain 2, double crochet 3. Then you're going to chain 2 and make another shell. So double crochet 3, chain 2, and double crochet 3. And you all have to cram it all into that one space. So it kind of wrinkles up a little bit, but just pull it out and you are good to go. Now chain 5. Skip your chain 5 space, and we're going to single crochet into this first chain 3 space. Chain 3, and single crochet into the next chain 3 space. Repeat that 3 more times, and you'll have a total of 3 chain 3 spaces on this row. Then chain 5 and shell in shell. I'll meet back up when we get over here. So there we have 4 chain 3 loops now. Then chain 5, shell in shell. From here, chain 2, double crochet into this chain 2 space between these 2 shells. So just 1 double crochet. Then chain 2 and shell in shell. Now we're just going to repeat what we did over here. Here is row 15 all finished. We have a double shell, so basically just 2 shells with a chain 2 in between. Chain 5, 4 chain 3 loops over our pineapple. Chain 5, shell in shell, chain 2, double crochet into your chain 2 space in between there. Chain 2, shell in shell, chain 5, then your 4 chain 3 loops, chain 5, and double shell. So shell, chain 2, and shell. We are now ready to begin row 16. Row 16, chain 3. Turn your work and place a shell into your very first chain 2 space. Chain 3, double crochet into this chain 2 space, chain 3, and then shell into your next shell, which is the next chain 2 space. Now chain 5, and single crochet into your first chain 3 space, chain 3, and single crochet. You're going to do that twice more for a total of 3 chain 3s on this row. Now chain 5. Shell in shell. Now chain 3. You're going to double crochet into this previous double crochet. And chain 3. Then shell in shell. Now from here you are going to chain 5 and then do your 3 chain 3 loops, chain 5, and then we are going to repeat what we did here right over here. So you're going to start with a shell in shell right here, then chain 3, double crochet into your chain 2 loop, chain 3, and then shell in shell. And here I have worked over that pesky double shell. We did a shell in shell, chain 3, double crochet in your chain 2 space, chain 3, and shell in shell. So here is row 16 all finished. And of course we had 3 chain 3 spaces on our pineapples. And yes, so that is row 16. Now from here, the pattern is just going to repeat itself, row 10 through 16. Well, this is the end of part 2 of this 3-part tutorial. If you would like to watch me repeat row 10 through 16, make sure to watch part 3.